Welcome to the Finding Magic podcast, where we explore themes of magic, creativity, and of structured intuition, which is using intuition to lead us through our lives. These are the themes raised in my book, Getting into the Flow, and this podcast aims to deepen and expand on them. And we also learn from my fantastic and amazing and generous guests. Their stories help us shift our view of reality from everything being pretty much random to one where magic is absolutely woven into it, waiting for us to sense it and create it. And when we do that, we can begin to realize the highest levels of our potential. We can become all we can be in life, live our best lives, and we begin to live lives that are powerful and on purpose and come from an inspired and joyful heart place. Hi, I'm Vincent, your host. Let's get into it. And so today we have Ed Surnam with us. Now, Ed is an intuitive coach and guides individuals to discover their authentic selves and live in alignment with their purpose. From mental health to environmental restoration, Ed's diverse experience helps him connect people to their higher ground. Through workshops, retreats, and one-on-one sessions, Ed empowers individuals to embrace their true nature and create their highest potential. And today, Ed's going to tell us about a time when he created the opportunity to attend an African safari using magic. So welcome, Ed. And perhaps we can start by just understanding a little bit about the background to this story. Yeah, where were you at?
Yeah. Hi, Vincent. Yeah, hi, everybody. Nice to be here. Always good to chat with you, Vincent. Always enjoy our conversations and interactions. So thanks for having me on. Wow, geez, I had a choice to go on the safari, a natural success bit with William Whitecloud. It was gonna cost a fair bit of money, about $10,000 US. And I had half the money saved up. I thought, great, I can easily make this happen, So I had a few clients and things were ticking along. And so I felt pretty comfortable that I could do this. But after signing up and committing to it, and I actually made a secondary choice, something that I'd step into the energy of, being on this safari every day. Every morning I'd wake up, see myself in Africa on this safari. And, about a week after committing to this thing, stuff happened. I had to replace my car, which was a massive expense, which actually took all of the money away that I had saved for the safari. And I'm committed to it, right? I'm sort of committed to this. And, I thought, wow, what am I going to do now? And then on top of that, my partner, who's still my beautiful partner, she was going on safari too. And I thought, well, I'll talk to her about it. And we spoke about it, and she goes, well, I'm not even sure, we'll be together by the time the safari comes. So I'm thinking, oh my God, how will it be going on this safari? And if, we've been partners for a few years, and if, all of a sudden we're not together and we're on the safari together fresh after this breakup, wow, that's going to be awkward.
That's a big
And I'm thinking all of these circumstances are just sort of seemingly stacking up, and I sort of really had to get to a place where, is this really true for me still to go? Is this really true for me to go? So, I emptied out. I got into a place where I was outside of, all of the dialogue my head was telling me, all of the chatter that was going on, just into a nice, I'd like to call it a flow state, after the name of your book, just in that state where everything is possible. So I got into that state, and I stood in the energy of this choice. And, I looked down, and in my imagination, I could see my bare feet on the ground, and I knew that those feet were in Africa. I actually literally felt myself there. And I thought, oh my God, that's such a sign, like such a strong, visceral feeling, experience of being, in Africa. I thought, my God, it's so true for me, regardless of, what's happened to my car, regardless of what my partner chooses or does or doesn't do. It's true for me to go. It's absolutely true for me to go. I don't know how I'm going to go. I've got no money now, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. And anyway, I organised to go on a monthly payment plan, and I had to come up with, I don't know how many $1,000 US dollars a month it was at the time. I can't remember. I think it might have been two. But anyway, I got onto this plan, and I can honestly say that I do not know how I actually manifested the money, often in the day before the payment was due, on a consistent basis for about 6 or 7 months. It was
Wow.
I thought, yeah, it was miraculous. Sometimes, I'd got an extra client, I've got more clients, someone out of the blue from 10 years ago who I lent them some money, paid me back out of the blue right the day before
Yeah.
a payment was due. I didn't even chase this person. I'd actually forgotten about it. Sometimes when you lend somebody money, you just think, oh, look, I'll give it to you. And if it comes back, yeah, it was sort of a situation like that. But anyway, it came out of the blue. I'd done some work for somebody else a long time ago, and um, they were just holding the funds. So I was just holding, my energy in their investment,
Yeah.
for a later time. They decided that, oh, I'm going to pay you out now from that. So that was another month taken. I'd have a coaching client, come and pay me for a year up front. And
Wow.
whoa, there's two payments or
Yeah.
more. So, and the whole time I was feeling myself standing and being in.
I've lost your
Just in my.
sound. I lost your sound briefly there. Standing
Okay,
and
have you got
being.
me?
Yeah. You were standing and being.
Yep. So every morning I would visualize myself standing and being in Africa on this safari. And, you know, without fail, the money turned up miraculously every single month without fail. And I was, I was pleasantly delighted every time. But by the end, I thought, it was a miracle. It was amazing. It was a real. Oh, I sort of was always surprised and delighted, but was just thinking, now this is how magic works. If I'm
Mm.
really in the energy and I'm doing everything I can to make this happen in taking, the next steps all the time, that it unfolds. And since creating that experience for myself, despite, those circumstances that would have, once upon a time had me sort of like, oh yeah, just drop it, it's going to be too painful if I go there and I'm not in this relationship anymore. It's just going to be too painful. I need to get a car. I can't afford to go on safari. If I would have given into all of that and not gone, I don't think I'd be where I am today, because
Mm.
I noticed that when I shifted and used the principles of intuition and creativity to create that experience for myself, everything else shifted with it. Like now I have plenty of coaching clients. I see them creating similar things every single day that I'm coaching. I hear stories of people creating magic for themselves by using the structures, by stepping into the end result just like I did, and seeing and feeling themselves in that, and using their intuition to uncover what the next obvious step is. now I live the digital nomad lifestyle, which I'm sure would not have happened had I not followed through and stuck with my vision. My partner didn't leave me. We have a beautiful relationship. We
Yeah.
work together and we create communities together, and we're doing lots of wonderful things together and really living a great life. So what really shone for me is that how when you use one experience to create the next level, how everything else rises. One of my mentors says, the tide rises all boats in the harbor. So by creating that experience for myself, the whole of my life shifted up a level.
Right. Yeah, that's a really great insight, and that's a really deeper insight. And one of the bigger lessons that we got from that, from we're getting from what you're telling us, is that yeah, lifting that level of magic across all of your life, across all of your choices. That's amazing. Um, yeah, what other lessons do you think you learned from getting this choice?
Or definitely that I learned not to listen to my inner dialogue that was uncultivated.
Mm.
If my monkey mind was chatting away at me, it would tell me you can't do it. You know,
Mm.
you're not going to make it this month. You're going to fail, and all the money you've invested in this so far is going down the tube. You'll be a failure. You're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
That stuff all was there and present and would, come in. And it was about being aware that it was there and going, "Yep, okay, I know this is, I hear you, but I'm actually choosing to go to Africa. Thank you very much. I can see my feet in the soil." And I'd start to focus on what that experience was going to be like for me. Or, sometimes I would just focus on how beautiful the ocean was today,
Yeah.
or even repeat a mantra to myself, but do something to shift out of the energy of that monkey mind, telling me I can't, I don't deserve to, you're going to fail. Absolutely still there. And it still raises its head for me in my life today. But the thing is that I know to use the energy of love, which is a high vibration, over the energy of my monkey mind, which is there plugging away at me, trying to keep me in the comfortable little cocoon that it knows the ed to be, whereas
Yeah.
yeah. So using over the higher energy of love over the lower energy of the monkey mind.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And I love this idea of staying in the end result of the choices in a very visceral and emotional way, and holding that energy through the day. It sounds like you've got practices that help you do that. Um,
Mm.
yeah. So when you got to the end and made that final payment, did the magic stop there?
Geez. No, I don't think so. No, like the going on safari was just an absolutely amazing experience. And it 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 really deepened my practice of being in the higher vibration and focusing on my end result. I really got a lot out of going on safari, and I'm sure I wouldn't have gotten as much out of it if it hadn't been the journey to get there. It's sort of all tied in. From the moment I decided to go, the lessons started to flow.
Mhm.
And my growth in applying intuition to the way I live my life, applying, if you like, magic to living my life, started, yeah, from the moment I made the choice to go, really. and the importance of holding to that end result and neutralizing, the
Oh, you lost the sound again. It's funny. Neutralizing.
neutralizing all the thoughts and beliefs that want to get in the road and wanted to stop me. Yeah, so just leaning in and yeah, like you say, viscerally getting into the energy of that end result and really connecting emotionally with the end result, and not in an emotionally in a needy way, but just feeling and imagining the feeling of being there and how that would feel in my body.
Right. So would you have any kind of final words, final summary that you would like to end the story with? Any final lesson that you'd like the viewers and the listeners to hear?
Yeah, I'd really love to let everybody know, and I know it's probably a message through your podcast as well, Vincent, that everybody can cultivate and use, magic in their lives to create the life that they love. I coach people and I see people creating amazing things every day by just using the structure. We all have our beliefs, we all have our stuff that wants, the limitations, we all have, those things. But, using magic, using our intuition is structural, it's not personal. And so if we can learn to apply the structure and step outside of our monkey mind into our superconscious self and use our intuition and create the universe the way we want to experience. The universe is like a malleable thing, and when you're focusing on the monkey mind stuff, you're going to create that monkey mind stuff. But when you're focusing on something that you love, the universe responds, or you shape the universe into the vision that you see. So I believe that everybody, actually, I don't believe, I know that everybody is able to do this.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ed. Thanks very much for your stories. And I will concur with you on knowing that everybody's intuitive, because I've worked, and I'm sure you might have done as well, with a few newbies that have come into the work and said, I'm not intuitive and I've been dragged here by so and so and so and so and so and so. By the end of the training, they're turning around saying, well, I never believed I could do this. So yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you very much for your stories today. And look, if you'd like to know more about Ed and his work, or me and my work and finding magic, then please head on over to my website, vincentgmelling.com, and you'll see a podcast button at the top. And that will take you to a page where you can, first of all, access the full list of podcast episodes and teachers. But for each of my guests, that will link to a page where there will be all the resources that they've shared, and a link for you to join the discussion of all the episodes as well in a Facebook group. And if you'd love to share your story of magic on the podcast, I'd love to hear. And you'll find a link for that too on the podcast page. Also on the website, there's a button where you can get the book, Getting into the Flow. And finally, there's a button that you can engage with me if you want, through one-on-one sessions, through trainings and classes, and the work that leads us to magic. So the website again is vincentgmelling.com. And thanks to all of you. Thanks to the local birds, the golf course and the builders. And they've all been very quiet today, but thank you very much anyway. And we'll see you in the next episode.